Hi there and welcome, and also maybe welcome back to Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. What is this run about? It will be a special run in that it will have a lot of roleplay. It will be on Path of the Damned, and it will be blind. So, what can you expect? You can expect high-level fights, where we don't know what we're doing at the start, where we try to figure it out in the fight. You can expect, of course, tactics. You can expect ambitious builds. You can expect roleplay in the sense that we are not the typical hero. We are an anti-hero. We are a drifter, someone who doesn't fit in, someone who likes the power of the individual rather than the power of the authorities or the elites. So we'll screw with the games of the nobles and the mighty, and try to give the common people the voice they need. But we'll also not be like the White Knight. That's not our thing. If you need to sacrifice yourself to save the world, it needs to be very, very necessary. And if we can, we'll always choose our survival first. So, this is playing Kevava Forged Dawn, a death godlike rogue. And yeah, so anti-hero. He'll be focused on combat mostly, a combat rogue. Into the direction of swashbuckler, but not actually a swashbuckler, because we want to have two-weapon fighting, things like that going. Our companions will mostly choose for the roleplay. But of course we want to have a priest and a tank. So Adair might be in. Yeah, I'm really excited to go for it. You can also expect it to be a complete run. I've completed Pillars of Eternity 1 and explored like everything I could without the help of guides, and 461 episodes. I think hundreds of people watched the complete edition. Crazily, so I'll be happy to do it again. This time with Pillars of Eternity 2, with much that I've learned as a streamer and as a commenter. So let's have fun together, and it's also about this here, the campfire. We want to feel being together at a campfire. So this will be the narrative style. It will be campfire style. We're telling a story, and we're acting a story out that should be epic, but that is not epic in the White Knight sense, in that boring cardboard hero thing. It will be a very human run, an individual run, and over time you'll see the character that Kevava Forged Dawn is, and that's also, I think, a character that is somehow run in all of us. You want to change the world, but you don't want to go down doing it. You want to show some vetoes to the powerful people and institutions of this world. But you don't want them to exterminate you for it. So it will be also about getting away with things. And of course, as we're playing Path of the Damned on blind, it will also be a lot about survival, about being on the razor's edge, and that's the exciting thing. So the other exciting thing for me is you watching. So I invite you to join us. I'll do my best, my absolute best, to bring you the story that you deserve. So let's start for this. Let's go for a new game. will not be relaxed here. I mean, I will be relaxed, you will hopefully be relaxed, but we'll be on Path of the Damned. Not go Trial of Iron. As a streamer, that would be a nightmare. If anything goes wrong, Trial of Iron. Expert mode also not, because we're not experts yet. We're just learning the mechanics on the fly. But we'll use level scaling on all encounters, but we'll only scale upwards to get a little bit of a challenge on top of the challenge. So we can concentrate on sweating blood and tears while we experience the great story of this game. So let's go and start the game. What's happening? The darkness. Where are we now?
Aora. A world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood. A nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of Hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a Watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
The book.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep? Lifting the curse? Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. But maybe the gods weren't finished with us. My God came back. He would forgive us. Last the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
So you wake to a sleepless world. The in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
Where are we now? We're in the Pillars of Ardra here. Let's see, can we see anything? There's lightning here.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
The dwarven woman.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them.
Mervold.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
Oh, Cardnua.
What is a god? A higher power? A reward
my
of
God,
good
Theus.
deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
Truly spoken.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
No.
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
Oh, yes.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage.
The greeting zombie.
You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
And now, where will we go? Oh, we can zoom in. What are these symbols? Is that a path? Is that some kind of sign? What's playing around here? These souls. This is Ardra, a pillar of Ardra, a giant pillar of Ardra. It is reaching into the soul world.
The creases of the dwarf's face tighten into a smile as he gives you a courteous nod.
And these seem to be gravestones. A bridge of gravestones. And a table with cards. No, we'll not sit. We'll just look around first. We don't like to be commanded. What is that? That is a giant skeletal hand holding this? Oh my god, this is awesome. A giant, yeah, this is the thumb. Oh my god, and what's here? This lantern looks like it has a face. I love it.
With mechanical stiffness, the dwarf tilts his head and silently gestures toward the empty chair.
Okay, alright. Maybe we don't want to sit down with this guy and play his game. Or her game. It seems like we have to. Let's not sit down.
Please.
Oh, come on. Okay. We don't like to bend to authorities.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cardnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She is preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
And this is our Pillars of Eternity 1 history as... This did not work for some reason. So I looked all my choices up and put them into the history. Of Kevava Forge Dawn. I've linked in the description below a Pillars of Eternity 1 run with the same setup. Pillars, Path of the Damned, Blind. Over 400 episodes. If you're in for an epic journey, you'll see absolutely everything of the game. Well, maybe 2 quests are missing or something, but other than that, it's all there. We'll use that history, the selected history of us.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bera. One half, anyway.
And who's the other one?
A finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge.
So this dwarf is the other half of Berath.
The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
Yes, in the Hall of Stars and Twin Elms.
You came to that tower seeking our aid. You prayed for help in reaching Theos, beyond the Court of Penitence, but would not pledge yourself to me.
Yes.
And yet, when it was time to make your choice, you returned those lost souls to the wheel. It seems you knew what was right in the end after all.
Yes, without the help of the so-called gods.
She delicately places a card on the table. A bell in a tower. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Otnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothus. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Aothus stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
And now, Paladin Knight, you're an expert. Am I dead?
No. But neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
And now the hollowborn are infants born without a soul. So someone is watching us, probably, as we lie down or as we do something mindless.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
Do we care? Yeah, I mean, what this causes in us is anger. Well, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people around it.
I know. It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnua and your surrounding lands.
Cadnua. Yeah, let's look into that. If you're new to Pillars of Eternity, just a short thing. Cadnua was our old fortress, with a Durwooden castle built over the ruins of the endless paths of Ordnua. Could Once it had cursed, few ventured into its halls, and even fewer made any effort to hold the castle or the lands around it. You became the de facto lord of the castle after defeating its previous master, the Watcher called Merwald. As the Watcher of Card Nua, you ruled the stronghold until it was destroyed by Eothas. The God of Light occupied the Adra body of Maros Nua beneath the castle and pulled himself out of the ground, destroying it in the process. This Maros Nua is a giant statue of Adra. So we're looking for a statue that runs rampant. A god and a statue.
Their souls remain in Aethys still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
We don't want to return to the wheel. So the Eothas is the god of rebirth, redemption, dawn, spring and light. Traditionally shown as a man bearing a candle and wearing a silver crown, believed to have possessed the body of Red Karen farmer Waidwen during the Saints' War and be destroyed along with Waidwen at the end of the war. He recently reformed his essence in the statue of Maros Nua beneath Card Nua. In the process of pulling himself from the endless past, he destroyed the castle and left the Watcher of Card Nua at the brink of death. We will hunt him down for that. Let's get on with it, whatever it takes, Berath. If we have to bow to you for a bit, or at least make you believe it, then it shall it be so. Let's get on with it.
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
So, I think this is cleverly done. Let's picture our own face, right? So, we're male, we're forged on the elven stature, death godlike. We're like a gothic anti-hero, so that's what we'll go for. We could read about the godlike if you like that. I mean, this will be a slow and deep run, so it's probably cool if we know all the background too. The godlike are children of the Kith, the civilized races who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. So we're connected to death. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce. Godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. Yeah, you should view us, right? The death godlike. Death godlike are the most distrusted of their kind. Strange growths cover their eyes, or in some cases the entire face, like in our case, giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque from the outside, hiding their features. Death godlike are commonly killed at birth, because many cultures consider them to be harbingers of doom. But doom is already there, and we're just a symptom, not the reason. We have Death's Usher. Death godlike seem to have an innate sense for the vulnerability of their enemies as death approaches. Against all targets that are near death, 25% health or below, Death godlike gain increased damage. And with Pallid Fate, we gain increased power levels when we are near death. Pretty cool. So body type will be elf. We want to be like that roguish thing. Like agile, small. And we'll go single class. Just because I want to create the same class I had before. And I have a special subclass for rogue in mind that fits so well and that really that I missed in the original edition. Resource guile. Rogues are vicious killers, feared for the brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in dark back alleys as at the heart of battlefield skirmishes. That's us, battlefield skirmishes. Though unpredictable and undisciplined, rogues are commonly used as shock troops. That's us. Or as part of a surprise assault, their withering attacks breaking enemy ranks and morale. The rogues tend to congregate in larger numbers in cities where they can be steadily employed as mercenaries or hired muscle. Got everything from bluff, streetwise, stealth, sleight of hand, and mechanics. Especially like mechanics. And yeah, bluff is cool too. Streetwise we want to explore. So much to see. The subclass. We'll go for Street Fighter. Street Fighters excel when the odds are against them, becoming especially deadly. They are outnumbered and bloodied. Bonus, Sneak Attack becomes more deadly and recovery decreases when the Street Fighter is flanked or bloodied. So in the critical situation, we do better. That's important to me. So if we have a very tough encounter, we become better. That's my philosophy of going into Path of the Damned blindly. You imagine the toughest fights possible and skill yourself for that. You imagine the boss fights, the big encounters, and style yourself for that. You think about what would a boss do, or what abilities would a boss have, and what immunities most especially. So you'll make these choices, and it is often into the direction of traditionally tending to a little bit of raw damage, dishing the damage out, and also buffing yourself and the group. These things will make a good group against the tough encounters, because the not so tough encounters you'll do with any group. So no reason to optimize around the everyday encounter. Weapon crit damage also increases when the Street Fighter is both flanked and bloodied, and penalty recovery is slower when the Street Fighter is neither flanked nor bloodied. Let's see, the abilities Crippling Strike or Escape. I think, yeah, Crippling Strike is the one from the roleplay standpoint we'll go for. Rogue attacks their enemy's ability to move around effectively, hobbling any enemy successfully hit. Also, hobbling anyone will enable the sneak attack if it's working as it was in Pillars of Eternity 1, which I think. The points. I've always put Resolve down because I think the relative fearlessness of Kevava is due to his clear thinking, not influenced by authorities, by elites, by the common sense, so to say. What we want in Path of the Damned is high perception. To hit is the first thing. It is the basis of all. Dexterity, though, will be good too. And I think some might won't be bad. Some might won't be bad. So that's how we'll go for what we'll go for. A little bit weak on the will side, but all the better on reflex, and really okay in constitution or fortitude save. Where are we from? We are from the Deadfire Archipelago. The Deadfire Archipelago marks the eastern edge of the known world, dominantly populated by island Omawa, who make up the tribes of the Huana. Huana are a tribal civilization primarily comprised of island Omawa, which has thrived in the Deadfire Archipelago for thousands of years, so a rich culture. Though largely decentralized, the Huana share common values steeped in mythology and a sense of guardianship over the isles they call home. And we're rebelling against this this authority they imagine for themselves. They are not the guardians, they just happen to live there. It's good that they take care of some things, but it's also, we think, a little bit, I don't know, how could they take the right to claim this? The chain of hundreds of islands spans thousands of miles. The Deadfire, so it's like some kind of Greece, some kind of I don't know, some kind of Indonesia mixed with Greece. The Deadfire contains myriad climates and biomes that are home to a bewildering array of creatures that we hope to meet. The last century has brought ambitious colonial traders, explorers, and pirates to the Deadfire, but travel east of the archipelago is blocked by the destructive storms of Ondra's mortar. Ondra is the goddess of oceans and forgotten things, and we really don't like her. Legends among the Yuana speak of an ancient cataclysm that devastated their people thousands of years ago. Details of this event have been lost to time, but Huana storytellers claim that it destroyed everything they had built, sinking even the greatest of their cities beneath the waves. So maybe there's something hidden beneath the waves. What was our job? We were a drifter. We never quite fit in no matter where we go. Each new town was just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. We're more comfortable on the road, traveling the world. Interesting backgrounds these are, but we're a drifter. We never fit in. I mean, with this look, with these looks. Available weapon types, let's see. And I really do like the rapier here with a needle strike. So carefully strike with your rapier, aiming for vital points to ensure success. Fighting this way increases accuracy at the cost of recovery. Accuracy we will need in very tough fights against bosses, very much. So that's why I like the needle strike. And then maybe we could mix it up with rending smash. And the mace. The character swings the mace with massive force, damaging the target's armor at the cost of recovery time. That's also increasing indirectly our damage and the ability to hit and penetrate. So that's what we want to go for. We want to dual wield these if it's possible. That's our portrait. Perfect portrait. The colors. We wear black. That's good. We could have this hat. We could have this hat. No, let's go with this one. We look sympathetic, right? Our voice. What else could it be than sinister?
They won't see me coming.
That was what I liked. They won't see me coming. We could also be stoic, but that's something we'd really like. These are from a free DLC. You should look it up. It's available for Deadfire. If you have Deadfire, you can get just some voices and I think portraits. And then we'll have a pose. Be heroic? Nah. I think stoic fits us best. Like, this is also what we think of the world. Maybe a little bit skeptic as well. And we'll be called Watcher. No. We'll forge the dawn again. We'll be the one to strike the mighty for us and for the people. That's us. Look at that. Nice area of effect, nice will. Incredible reflex saves. Nice action speed. I really love dexterity. So I went for that all out. Yeah. Let's go.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you. To open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world.
No, let's see what the in-between is. The in-between refers to the shadow world that souls briefly wander After death, on their way to the beyond, it has been described as a hazy landscape, empty but for the glow of other souls, Ardra and Watchers. This is the space that Watchers peer into when they observe and speak to lost souls and soul fragments. Even the gods cannot reach it. That's our safe space. Very good.
Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
We don't like this, Berath, but if that is what we must do, then we will do it.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
So you have opened the door to release us into this world. What is that? Is that some soul flies around this light? What's in the background there? Look at the strange distorted paths. Is that the real world we're seeing behind here? On our path of gravestones that now change to wood. As we go to the real world, the gravestones disappear and the wood appears. There is some kind of hut here. It's the path through the... What is that? Look at that. Something behind here? Something waiting? That looks like the room we were just in, but there's a lot of souls in it. Also wandering to it. Is that how it looks from the view of Berath? And this, another temple of souls. Can you hear their voices in the background? You sense the steward's spirit in the bust, but she's unaware of you. My God. At least we have her still. And there is Eder. Goosebumps rise on Eder's arms at your approach, but he seems unaware of your presence. Well, before we enter to the real, I'd like to make a short pause, so thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We'll see each other in the next episode. The stream will stay. Have a good time until then, and happy gaming.